Hi guys, welcome back to Miscellaneous Pleasures. I'm back with Stranger Things. I forgot what episode it is. I think it's chapter 4. Yeah, yeah, it's chapter 4. So last time on Stranger Things, what we had the ridiculous cliffhanger where our, what's his name? Will, he was sort of, you know, he again had those visions of the upside down, but this time around there was this monster. I mean, the monster that he was seeing that sort of went inside him, and it was some sort of like a tornado sort of thing that happened. Uh, I mean, that was the ending of the episode. We also had Dustin with the creature from Upside Down, which he named as Dot. Uh, but then obviously other people now, I mean, when I say other people, I mean his friends, know that it's from the Upside Down. So they're obviously skeptical about it. And, there is that. And towards the end, he lied, right? He kept Dart under his hat or cap, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know, I didn't see him," or something. So he obviously lied because he thought that they would force him to, kill Dart or something. Uh, I don't actually remember what else happened. I don't think anything significant other than this happened in the episode. Uh, there was some Levin stuff. Yeah, Levin. She flipped Max and disappeared on Mike, didn't she? I mean, she came all the way to meet Mike and then saw him with Max. It's just a normal conversation, that too. And she flipped her and she left. So that happened. Uh, so yeah, I guess that's all for this. I mean, I can't really think of anything else that happened. So here we go.
I just found him like this. I think he's having another episode.
Um,
Will? Will?
Wait, what?
Will? Sweetie, wake up. It's Mom.
Okay, so this is what he looks like to the rest of the world when he's having an episode.
Will, wake up. Can you hear me?
Okay, so he's not obviously transporting or teleporting or whatever to the upside down.
Wake up.
But then I don't understand what this is then. Like, is it his mind that is trapped there or something like that? Wow. I mean, if you're going to end an episode in the way that they ended the last episode, you very well sort of, bloody make sure that you start the next episode the way that they have. Because this is like the sort of beginning of an episode which makes you go, you know what, this is going to be a ride and I'm here for it. So here we go, really, because okay, fine. I mean, let's just, pause for a minute and think about this. Will, I mean, this is probably the first time that we are seeing Will from the outside perspective while he's having an episode, right? Like, all the other times we are sort of seeing Will's perspective of everything. Uh, right now we saw both, and it seems like his body is here and his mind is sort of there. So he is having visions in a way, but then how did the monster attack him then? Like, was it some sort of an uh, telepathic attack, or was it some sort of an idea where his mind is trapped there or something like that? I don't know. It's weird. It's interesting.
Can't remember. I need you to try. I was on the field and then it.
Wait, he can't remember, or is he lying? Because till now he hasn't lied, has he? Like, he has been pretty much open about all of this thing.
Truth.
and which was surprising and positively sort of. I was happy about the fact that they're not going for the cliche. Oh, you know what? I'm in trouble. Let me lie and not get help. That sort of a thing.
This shape, I saw it on the videotape from Halloween night. It's the same. Make it go away. But it got me, Mom. Well, what does that mean? I felt it everywhere. Everywhere. I still feel it.
This guy is a good actor, isn't he? Like, honestly, I feel like 2 days in a row I have seen two different characters from two different shows absolutely nail it. This sort of a despair and fear and whatever, all those type of emotions that he was feeling, he absolutely nailed it.
You lie!
I don't lie. I protect, and I feed, and I teach. And all I ask of you is that you follow 3 simple rules. 3 rules. And you know what? You can't even do that!
Come on, that's a bit harsh. I mean, come on, she has been in this place for like 350 days or something.
Grounded.
So,
You know what that means? It means no egos.
Okay, that's way too harsh,
No
dude. Come
TV
on.
For a week. Understand that there are consequences to your actions.
You are like Papa!
Really?
Okay, okay.
Son of a bitch.
Wow, that's even worse. Come on,
You'll go back in
come
the
on,
past?
Levin.
One phone call, I can make that happen.
I hate you!
Yeah, well, I'm not too crazy about you either. You know why? Because you're a brat. You know what that word means? How about that be your word for the day, huh? Brat. Why don't we look it up? B-R-A-T. Brat. Hey! What the hell is wrong with you? Ah! Hey! 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 Open
Okay, this is bad.
Open the damn door! You wanna go out in the world? Better grow up! Grow the hell up!
Oh boy. Mate, this is like, I can't effing pick sides here. Like, if Levin was even remotely close to a normal child, I'd be like, yeah, brat, let's just like, support Hopper all the way out and like, I wouldn't blink an eyelid by criticizing the kid. But then this being Levin changes stuff because, I mean, first of all, even if this wasn't Levin and just a normal kid, if you're going to have a kid, the operative word here being kid, 350 days inside a house, and you can't go out. Yeah, you have food and TV and stuff. Like, I mean, considering also the fact that this is the 80s, which means no internet, like it makes things extremely difficult to like follow the 3 rules or whatever. Like, because I mean, essentially the 3 rules are you can't go out, right? So staying inside the house, yeah, even though it means safety, like after some point of time, it's going to get frustrated. And even though the fact is, Levin doesn't know like a lot of English words. It seems like, I mean, yes, he does know a lot of words, but then not close to what other people do. And what that sort of means is that she's using this word lie, which in reality she should be using completely different word. I don't know what it is in this sort of a context. But then it's not a lie, is it? Like, Hopper is not lying. He's just sort of waiting for the right time, which may not really come about at any point of time. And he is just, as I said, waiting for the right time for her to sort of go into the public, go into the real world, if it were me. And, the problem, like, as I said, I mean, even from Hopper's sort of perspective, like, he can't be faulted for any of this. Like, yeah, I mean, to be fair, you can't really promise stuff because, especially when you know that you can't keep your promises. But then, what else are you supposed to say? So yeah, this is, And the fact of the matter is, because this is Levin, it sort of makes each one of these things worse. Because if it was a normal kid without powers, then there is no way this kid stands a chance against Hopper. But then because this is Levin, it means that Hopper stands absolutely no chance against Levin. And it means that she can literally do anything and there's nothing he could do about it. So, to exert a level of control is essentially impossible. And then he has still managed to do it by being caring and all those things. But then, after some point of time, things had to go sort of bad. And I guess this is probably the worst way it could go bad. And here we are, really. Okay. Is he having a dream? Because he's having REM sleep at the moment. Wait, his temperature is 95?
Is it a fever? No. Actually, it's cold. Do you feel cold?
Of the physical and emotional state we call fear.
Wait, he's afraid now?
Hey, you reached Jim. I'm probably doing something incredible right now.
Mom. Yes, what is it? It's too hot.
Wasn't that the whole point? Like his temperature was too low.
I can cool it down a little bit, baby, but we gotta get your body temp back up. No. What?
Wait,
He likes it cold.
oh, this is bad. Wait, what? Is he like the monster now? Like, I don't even know what that means.
Trouble with your car, miss? I can give you 2 a lift if you like.
Jonathan?
These are the lab people, aren't they? Okay.
You sure you don't need that ride?
Oh boy.
No, it's like I don't have to think. I just know things now. Things I
Is he Harry Potter? And the monster is, you know who.
What else do you know?
Say the Soviets, if they heard about our mistake, do you think they would even consider that a mistake? What if they tried to replicate that? The more attention we bring to ourselves, the more people like the Hollands know the truth, the more likely that scenario becomes. You see why I have to stop the truth from spreading too, just same as those weeds there.
I mean, yeah, this guy,
By whatever means necessary.
it's like, like Netflix have brought this guy on to play this character. And inside the show, the Hawkins lab has got this guy in to be the face and to be the head of the lab or whatever his position is. And I feel like it's just a perfect casting. It's a perfect cast because he's saying all the right things. Sorry, I should change my word. He's saying all the things that he wants to say. He's conveying the message that he wants to convey. And he's getting the people to do what he wants them to do by saying things in a way that would sound right, sound logical, sound sort of convincing to us. And that's a talent, man. That's an absolute talent. And this guy has abundance of it. Like, honestly, I don't think he's a bad guy. But then, if you morally ideally think about these things, they're not necessarily the best of people. But then when he puts it the way that he just has, it sounds logical. And as Nancy and Jonathan, if I were in their position, then I would probably agree and I would agree to what he says. So yeah, that's just wow.
So, we understand each other now, don't we?
And he's smiling too, like that helps. Whoa. Wait, how many drawings has he done? Are these even drawings or is it a scribbling?
Insane.
It's nothing. It's just scribbles.
I mean, good luck with connecting all the black lines from like hundreds or at least 50 of those papers. And he's drawing more, so like eventually about 100 of them. Like, I mean, it does not even form a shape. Like, it's not even like solving those jigsaw puzzles. And this is like, I mean, I don't even think this is practical to think about solving this. What?
Does this mean anything to you?
How does that even work? Like, how did they even do that?
Maze or a road? And
Have you seen Dustin? We're supposed to meet after class. Max. Hey, Max. Hey, where are you going? Come on.
Yeah, she's pissed off. But then, yeah, it makes sense why she's pissed off. But then it also makes sense that they can't tell her about all of these
I
things.
don't understand.
No, I don't understand. Hey, you guys act like you want me to be your friend, but then you just treat me like garbage.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
I'm older than you, and something you learn is that there's certain type of people in this world that you stay away from.
Wait, that's...
Max, that kid,
Are you joking?
you stay
I mean, I guess this is the 80s, but come on.
away.
I mean, I've said this once, I've said this twice, I've said this a million times, I feel like. But what is the point of this character? Like, it almost feels like he is literally created piece by piece. Like you know, if given an opportunity, like if you were told hypothetically that you could create a human and he or she could do whatever you want, and you have the complete ability to sort of perfect this person to your exact liking and all those type of things. It feels like this guy has been done the same way, but in such a way that, you know, they told the, you know, the person who was writing this character, they went and told him, you know what, we want a guy that everybody should hate, but he should have nothing to do with the main story or even a side story. And these people that wrote this character sort of sat in a room, thought about for like 2 days, 3 days, how much ever longer, and they went, here we go, this guy. And I just can't find the point of this guy. Like, honestly, all he does is like sort of has some sort of a competition with Steve, and then he is extremely rude to her, and he says stuff like this once in a while. So there you go. I don't get it. And this is something that I'm going to judge this season by, because, you know, they have introduced, what, 3 or 4 new characters? And they have definitely introduced her brother, and Joyce's boyfriend. I can't think of anybody else, but then, you know, that's for another time. So they have introduced these 3 characters, and what they're going to do with these 3 characters is something that I'm going to judge the season by. Because it seems like right now Max has some part to play. It seems like the boyfriend, has done stuff already, and then it seems like he will continue to provide some things to the story and how the show goes. Then this guy seems to be the most pointless character. So I don't know.
$4.50.
What?
Mom.
mistakes
Wait, what?
Mistake.
The men involved in those mistakes, the ones responsible for
She recorded them?
Mother and Miss Holland's death.
How did she even do that? And how was that device not confiscated, or how was her handbag not confiscated?
You still want to do this?
Let's burn that lab to the ground.
Oh my god. I couldn't watch that scene, and I know exactly what happened there. Good luck, Dustin. Like, that's all I'm going to say. Good luck. Oh, shit. Wait, the entire sort of underground is filled with upside down? Or other upside down creatures? And that's the end of the episode. Wait, that... Yeah, that is the end of the episode. Wait, what the hell? Right. I honestly couldn't see that scene that with Dart. Okay. Okay, I mean, enough drama about the whole scene, but then Dart obviously killed his cat, and how the mother did not hear the screams or any of those things, I will never understand. But I'm going to give creative freedom over that. So Dart is killing organisms now. It wouldn't be too long before it starts killing humans. And I have no idea what Dustin could possibly do to... Apart from running away, I have no idea what else he could do about it. So there is that. I obviously also had this rant about the guy who plays Max's brother, and I'm not going to get into it again. Interesting things happen in this episode. Like, it was obviously a very good episode. I mean, at this point of time, like even Stranger Things, I feel like this season has been better than first season in many ways. Yeah, in many ways, I feel like this season has been better. It's sort of like a better story in terms of last season. Yeah, it was a very good story, but then I don't know. I somehow like this season better. But then obviously, there's much less of Levin and her sort of innocence and all the things that happened with that. So in those sort of aspects, the way the three kids at the time interacted and Levin, in those aspects, obviously season 1 was better, but then in terms of story, I feel like season 2 has been better. And I have really no idea where this is going, because this time around, it's not the lab. Like, this whole the lab being these bad guys, like, I don't really understand for two reasons. Like, especially, it's about perspective, obviously. So, if you're going to talk about how the lab has sort of mistreated the Terry Ives, the woman who is Levin's mother, and how they experimented on Levin, and if you talk about those things, then obviously lab is not right. They're completely wrong, and I accept if people would say that they are bad because of these reasons. But then when you say that they're bad because they killed Barbara, like, that statement makes no sense. It's like saying I don't know, I can't I feel like, am I the only person who thinks this, that the lab wasn't 100% wrong? Like, if the whole situation is like, if we could give 100 as a number to the whole situation, I feel like the lab is sort of like 40% responsible, but then the other 60% is sort of like circumstance and the upside down. Like, upside down is not bad. I think it's just creatures. Like, it's not like they have decided to kill humans. Like, it's not that sort of a thing. It's not like the monsters are like Thanos. Like, it's not like, how Thanos decided to end half of universal life. It's not that type of scenario here. It's just they're creatures. It's like Doctor Who, where you have like some creatures who are just creatures. That's it. Like, they're different, and whatever is good for them is possibly bad for you, and there is no moral compass here. So yeah, I don't know. But then so obviously, I am all, with all of this, I'm obviously referring to Nancy and Jonathan. I have no idea how they managed to tape the head of the lab, but then they managed to do that. And now they have this recording which they could essentially show to anybody, and it would obviously make the lab look bad. I don't know if it's a good thing, because I mean, I guess in one perspective, like, if you destroy the lab, when I say, I mean, they obviously talk about burning the lab to the ground. It is always metaphorical. It's more like shutting the lab down. And if they do manage to do that, I guess things would be better. So I'm not going to be against that thing. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, let's get back to other interesting things that happened in this episode, because there were a few interesting things. And one of the first interesting things I'm going to talk about is Levin. I mean, the whole fight between Levin and Hopper I've already talked about, so I'm not going to do that again. But then Levin found about Terry eyes, and she took her photo and did her thing, tied the eye. She basically covered her eyes and then went into her sort of I don't know what it is, but then she basically used her powers to look at Terry eyes, and it seemed like Terry eyes recognized her. People can't really see Levin when she does that, can they? Like, I remember, I mean, she obviously did that with Mike for like 330 days or something, and Mike could sort of have a feeling that there was somebody watching him, that sort of a thing, but then he could not see Levin there. But then this woman could. So is this where she is sort of stuck? Is this where her mind is stuck, and maybe she could be made better by Levin, by sort of releasing her from this place? Like, I don't know if these statements make sense, but in my mind they do. So I'm going to say them. So maybe that's what they're going for. I'm not really sure what exactly is the repercussion of that scene that we saw. That was one of the first interesting things. Not in chronological order, just how it comes to my mind. Another interesting thing that happened is obviously Will. Will was basically the tornado of monsters, that sort of a thing that started in the end of the last episode. That sort of entered him. That's what it felt like. But then that statement makes no sense, because he was here on Earth, on our plane. And the monster is in a different sort of dimension, plane, world, whatever. So how did that monster do that? Like, was it telepathic? Like, I don't really understand that particular thing. Like, I don't understand how it happened. I know what has happened, because whatever we have seen further in this episode all point to that one thing, because he obviously likes cold now more than warmth, and that is obviously the characteristic of that world, because it's obviously dark, and we obviously know that dark does not like heat or light. So all these things point to one thing, that it's sort of like, I don't know what the word for this is. Like, it's basically like a monster is inside him, that sort of a thing. Like, most of the things that he actually explained were similar to Harry Potter, and I don't mean exactly like Harry Potter, but then, how he sort of has visions, he just knows things, he can feel things, he can't really explain how he knows them, all these type of things. It sort of reminded me of Harry Potter. So yeah, so that was another interesting thing. And one sort of extraordinary thing that happened in this episode was the whole Will's drawings. Like, how Joyce and Hopper managed to arrange it the way that they had, it's beyond me. Like, they have to be absolute geniuses to have pulled that off, I feel like. So, or I guess, as I have already termed it as creative freedom, so I'm going to give the show that. And another interesting thing that happened, which is, I don't know if it's interesting, but it's sort of like noteworthy, is in this season, I mean, the people who knew about Upside Down in the previous season, they have obviously been told by the lab and sort of like the government, military, whatever, to keep it as a secret and not tell it around. I don't know why I still have this. So they obviously cannot tell about whatever happened about Levin or the whole sort of Upside Down and those type of things to anybody. It's sort of like a top secret thing. And the fact of the matter is, whenever there's this type of a top secret thing, and there are a lot of people involved in the secret, and it can't be told to anybody else, eventually few people are going to know about it. I mean, that's just how TV shows work. So I feel like one of the people who has to find out about it at some point of time eventually, like, there is no other way around this, and that person is Max. Because obviously Dustin and Lucas like her, they want her regardless of how much they like her, regardless of that fact. They want her in the team, the party, whatever. And the only way to do that right now, especially with the things, because they are having this normal discussion and then they have to discuss about Will and Upside Down. So they can't have her in the discussion, but then you can't give any plausible explanation for that. And then that has happened few times in the season. So, and yeah, I mean, it's a TV show, right? So eventually she is going to find out about it. I am looking forward to it because I feel like, I don't know, I don't think she's going to be helpful in any way, extra helpful, like, unless she already knows about these things in some other weird way, or like she is like Levin, for instance. Like, I mean, I'm just clutching at straws here, I know. I'm just sort of speculating just for the sake of it. But then, unless she is all these type of things, she's not going to be helpful in any sort of way. But then for the sort of character development and eventually, I mean, come on, she is going to be paired with somebody. It's either going to be Dustin or Lucas. I don't know. I feel like it could be Lucas just because it seems like of the two, I guess Lucas seems to be the guy who doesn't have anything to do in the season. Like, Mike has got this Will thing. Dustin has got Dart. I feel like, what is Lucas going to do? It feels like Lucas and Max are going to be the thing. Though, to be fair, there has been no indication of this. So I feel like they are going for that, and eventually Max has to find out about the whole Upside Down and stuff like that. So yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. I mean, nothing else is coming to my mind. I don't think I've forgotten anything. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, this has been a good episode. And I am looking forward to the next one because what's interesting is obviously what happened in the last. I mean, I have not really talked about it, but then it seems like the thing that they keep on burning, the lab, it seems like those things have sort of grown inside and are still growing. That makes any sense? It seems like they are still growing and they are sort of growing underground, and that's why the pumpkin sort of died and it's all sorts of mosquito-y and stuff like that. So yeah, but I don't really know what they're going for here. Like last time around, it was kind of obvious. It was always going to be about the monster versus the people, and how we are going to even defeat the monster, and rescuing Will and possibly even Barbara, like because they did not know that Barbara was dead at the time. But in this season, I don't really know where it's going because it seems like the monster is inside Will now, but then I'm not really sure about it. Levin doesn't know anything about all of this, so how are they even going to defeat the monster without Levin? It's a completely different question. Uh, the kids, I mean, they can't be that helpful. I mean, they can be helpful, but then they have to be helpful in sort of a brilliant, intelligent sort of way, and not really in some sort of a physical sort of actually killing the monster way, because they don't have powers. And yeah, so I don't really know what is this. I mean, what is going to happen? I can't even try to predict it. So yeah, very good episode, very good season so far. I am looking forward to it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please do share your thoughts. Please do like and subscribe if you do like the content. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.